Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Olaplex ban that so many of you have been asking me about over the past few weeks. I've gotten so many comments and DMs about this situation, and I apologize that it's taken me a little bit of time to address my thoughts publicly, but I wanted to make sure that I had time to properly research this before I did sit down on camera to let you know my thoughts. If you're not on TikTok, you may have missed this entire situation because that is where it really blew up. Shocker, I feel like this is where things like that always blow up these days, but there were tons of videos and comments swirling around talking about the fact that Olaplex was banned in the EU because it causes infertility. That's obviously a really scary claim to hear for any fans of Olaplex because a lot of us have been using Olaplex for years at this point. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be putting something in my hair that causes me to be infertile. So in this video, we're going to talk about what that ban actually means, where the concerns lie, and whether or not I plan to continue using Olaplex or not. So if you've been curious about this situation, if you want to hear my take on it, you've come to the right spot. We're going to jump into that in a second, but before we do, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and drop a comment below letting me know if you have heard about this or not and what your initial thoughts were when you saw some of these videos swirling around. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really helps to support me with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate you so much for doing that. And if you need anything from me at all, check out my description box below. I have Lightroom preset filters for editing your Instagram photos, my SPF merch, timestamps, discount codes, and links to my favorite beauty products of all time. All right, this one's gonna be a doozy. Let's dive into it. Okay, despite what we may have seen on social media, it turns out that the ban was not a ban on Olaplex as a brand or even one of their products. It was a ban on an ingredient called Lillial, which was present in their No. 3 hair perfector. From what I have seen, that was the only product from Olaplex that contained that ingredient. But still, that's scary to hear, knowing that for a lot of people, the No. 3 hair perfector is the product that they use from Olaplex the most. So let's quickly talk about what Lillial is, why it was banned, and as always, my sources are going to be listed in my description box below if you would like to see where I got this information or if you want to look into it further yourself. Lillial is a fragrance ingredient found in both cosmetic and household cleaning products, and the SCCS, or the Scientific Committee on Consumer Safety in Europe, determined that Lillial is not safe for use in both leave-on and rinse-off cosmetic products due to a variety of factors, but I would say the most noteworthy being reproductive concerns and the risk of inducing skin sensitization. For a lot of people, hearing that is enough to make them swear off Olaplex as a brand entirely, which is what so many people did on TikTok. So let's take a look at the response that I saw on TikTok to this entire situation. I am going to be hiding their username because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm trying to expose or drag people. That's definitely not the goal of this at all, but I do think it's important to take a look at how people react to something like this. That honestly doesn't even begin to scratch the surface on all of the videos that you can find on TikTok talking about this situation. If you just search Olaplex ban in the search bar, you will sit and scroll for days. There's so many videos about this on the app. The problem with that is that somebody took that initial headline, saw the word ban, saw the word Olaplex, didn't do any further research, and ran with it. And that had this domino effect that we saw not only on TikTok, but so many other places as well. News outlets were talking about this, magazines, blog posts, it was everywhere. I actually did not know that this was going on. I don't really know why my TikTok For You page was not serving these videos up to me based on the content that I create, but I had no idea, and I just happened to make this video right here in the midst of all of this. I'm laughing because the timing, so many people probably saw I thought I'd be using Olaplex #3 forever and thought I was talking about this, but really I live under a rock apparently because I had no idea that this was going on. So let's look at some of the comments that I got about this. Infertility. Olaplex #3 is banned in the UK from about a week or so for causing infertility, so good to make the switch. A lot of countries are set to follow. Talk about Lillial, the ingredient harmful to fertility, causing their products to be reformulated in 2022. You need to stop promoting it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's not fake. If you Google Olaplex 3 infertility, it will come up. They are having to change their formula. They are having to recall all of their current stock from the shelves. They can only sell it once they have changed the formula. I heard that in one of the Olaplex products, there's an ingredient that makes you infertile. I've heard Olaplex #3 is bad for your fertility. Olaplex just apologized for having this chemical that's now banned, but not in the US. Olaplex banned by EU regulations. Olaplex 3 has been linked to birth defects and fertility issues, but only 3. Banned in the UK now. Thank you, but I enjoy the infertility Olaplex gives me. I feel like I've been making beauty content long enough now to know how things like this play out. Olaplex is definitely not the first brand that has been put under a microscope and attacked for one ingredient in one of their products. I've seen this happen to several brands now where they have an ingredient that maybe there's a lawsuit about, there's claims about toxicity or it causing cancer or infertility like this, or hair loss. I've seen it several times before now, so I know to never take comments like that at face value. That's also not just a content creator thing, that's just like a internet street smarts kind of thing. You never take what someone says online at face value without doing further research. But something that I found to be a little bit tricky about being a beauty creator is that people expect you to kind of know everything beauty and have an expertise in everything beauty. So when something like this happens, like it has in the past, people will ask about it and they want to know your thoughts and expect you to have all the information to answer the questions that they may have. But I think that it's important for me to acknowledge where I do and don't have expertise, if you will, for lack of a better word, in something beauty related, and where I have a responsibility as a creator to pause, not jump on a bandwagon just because it's trending, and wait to hear from those that I do consider to be experts and that I know I can trust and rely on. And one of those areas where I absolutely do not have expertise in any way, shape, or form is cosmetic chemistry. That may shock some of you. I am not a scientist. But a creator that I would consider to be an expert that I have massive respect for is Michelle from Muffin Beauty Science. I've talked about her so many times, and she is one of those creators that I know I can trust. So when something like this comes up, I will wait to hear what she has to say about it because I really respect her opinion as a PhD scientist, as somebody that should be speaking up on this matter, when those of us who don't have a PhD in science maybe should just be quiet for a moment and listen. So let's watch her TikTok analyzing the data on this situation.
Here's why you shouldn't freak out about Olaplex making you infertile. Yes, an ingredient that used to be in Olaplex is getting banned in the EU because of potential reproductive health effects. First off, this ban has been going on for a while. The EU Cosmetic Safety Report that analysed the data was released May 2019. The only reason it's hitting headlines now is because the deadline to stop using it was March 2022. So it isn't like it's so dangerous they're rushing to get it off the shelves. Now, if you actually go in and read the safety report, you can see that the ban is based off animal studies. Specifically, they fed Lillial in high amounts to rats. There's no evidence that Lillial has ever caused infertility in humans. It's also good to look at what toxicologists mean when they say not safe. In the report, they take the worst case scenario and assume that you're using Lillial in 15 different beauty products every day. And even with using this many products, you're only getting 1/80th of the smallest dose estimated to cause a negative health effect in rats, which were the most sensitive of the animals studied. They also looked at data from mice and dogs, and so they are being really cautious here. Hair products also contribute very little to this. They estimate that you probably get about 70 times as much Lillial from applying perfume. From hair products, you're getting about 1/10,000th of the smallest amount that would give a negative health effect. So this is very much a precautionary ban. The EU treats things that could cause reproductive issues very seriously. I think this ban is a good thing. Lillial is used as a fragrance ingredient, so Olaplex will still work without it. Companies have known about the ban coming in for a while, so they've been phasing it out. But it is incredibly unlikely that using Olaplex has made you infertile.
And something that really bothers me about this situation is that that video from Michelle only has 40,000 views, and she posted another video after that I will link below talking more about the situation that has 5,000 views. That may sound like a decent amount of views if you're not on TikTok a lot, but it's honestly nothing compared to videos that go really viral, like the videos of people throwing Olaplex in the trash saying it causes infertility. Those videos have millions of views. This is just a trend that I've noticed on TikTok with situations like this in the beauty space, and I guess I shouldn't even say it's specific to TikTok because this happens on every social media outlet, but I think it just feels like a bigger deal and like it's on a greater scale on TikTok because of the insane potential for views and how easily videos can go viral. But I have noticed this trend where something comes up like this in the beauty space, misinformation goes viral, blows up, gets millions of views. And then when an expert tries to step up and talk about it and, what the truth actually is and why those videos are misinformed, their videos don't get any views. And then the misinformation just continues until the end of time. Another example that I can think of off the top of my head immediately is the ingredient DMDM-hydantoin. That ingredient was put under fire in a very similar way, not because of infertility concerns, but because of alleged complaints about hair loss. That went completely viral. People were freaking out. This was like over a year and a half ago at this point, I feel like. Experts spoke up, said we don't actually need to be concerned about that. There's no scientific evidence that that ingredient causes hair loss. But to this day, a year and a half later, I still get comments on my videos about it. I just posted a video last week. I saw comments about it because a product that I recommended has that ingredient in it, saying, hey, but that causes hair loss, so don't use that. So I know my approach to this video was definitely different than my other hair care deep dives, but I just think it's important for me to not only keep it real with myself, but also with you guys when I feel that there's an area that I just don't really have a right to educate on, especially without the help of scientific professionals. So yes, I will always do my own research, but at the end of the day, I didn't go to school for cosmetic chemistry. I am not a PhD scientist. I know that's shocking. There's always potential for me to not understand the full story, to misinterpret what I'm reading, or miss an important piece of the equation. And that is exactly how all of this blew up in the first place. So to wrap up, I want to give a shout out to some of those scientific professional creators that I follow that I have huge respect for, because I would love for you guys to follow them too. The more educated we can be as a consumer base, the better for everybody. And these creators are incredible because it's just evident to me in the content that they create that they value integrity and transparency over popularity and over money from brands, which I just think is so, so respectable. And they're not afraid to call out BS even when it goes against the social media masses, which can be scary to do because people can be ruthless online. So of course, we've already talked about Michelle from Lab Muffin Beauty Science. Make sure to give her a follow. I'm gonna have everybody's accounts listed and linked below so you can follow all of them. Then we have Science Meets Cosmetics. Incredible creator, talks about both hair care and skincare. And I always get really excited when I see her post things about hair care because to me, it's important to have what I research validated from experts like this. So when I see some of that research validated, I'm like, yes, see? And the same thing holds true for all of these creators, but I feel like Science Meets Cosmetics is an account that posts a lot of things about hair care that I research, so I just get especially excited about that because you guys know I love hair care. Okay, the other creators are Skin Perspective, The Melanin Chemist, And the cowl is a great account as well. So again, they are all linked in my description box below. Go give them a follow, give them some love for doing the dirty work for us. And if there's anyone that I missed, which I know that there will be, leave them in the comments below so that we can follow them as well. All right, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that you found this helpful. I hope you found it informative, maybe in a different way than my other videos. And of course, I hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really helps me out, so I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Stay tuned for my next video because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.